what's up, parents and teachers? This is Seth with SethPro.com, and today in this vlog, I'm going to explain to you some of the questions that I use with my students as I'm trying to help them do their work. So, anyhow, my name is Seth Perler. You're probably familiar with my blog, but if you're not, I want you to know that this weekend there's TFOS, the Executive Function Online Summit, a brand new summit that I created with a bunch of experts from all over the place. If you haven't, if you didn't know anything about this and you've been following my blog, well, we have today left. It's amazing. Check it out. Go to executivefunctionsummit.com. The link is below and register and get what you can out of it. It's almost over, so dive in. But I'm going to talk today, parents, about a list of questions that I use. So here's the problem. Parents will say to their child, "Hey, what's up?" Middle, high school, college students, but really middle and high school. "Hey, do you have any homework?" And your child will say, "No." Or, "Hey, how's everything going in school?" "Fine." And parents often have these conversations with their kids about homework where the student either is not aware of what's going on, or in the moment they can't recall it and bring it into their mind to give you a meaningful answer, or they're resistant to you and they'll give you an answer that's basically saying, "Hey, back off, mom and dad. I don't want to talk to you about it. Leave me alone. I've got this. I want to be treated like an adult." um, Even though I'm missing a million homework assignments and so on and so forth. So I'm going to talk about this here because the what happens is that I have students come into my office, and after years and years and years of working with students who struggle with executive function and have a lot of missings, incompletes, late work, zeros, test corrections, they're failing classes or their grades are dropping. After working with so many of these students, I found that there is a set of questions that I always ask. Now, I may not ask all of them all the time. I'm always calibrating. I'm always looking at the kid's nervous system and to see if they have the tolerance for me to ask them certain questions. Obviously, if they're really overwhelmed, I'm not going to ask them all the questions. But I need to be able to, as a coach working with them, as someone who cares about them and wants to help them succeed, I need to be able to get meaningful dialogue with them to get answers, meaningful answers to help us know where we need to prioritize our energy and what the student needs to be working on. So, these questions are the end all be all. And I don't say that about many things, but this is something that really encompasses every question pretty much that I've asked. And I've organized these questions. I'm going to explain it to you in a minute. I've organized these questions in a very meaningful way so that you can use these questions as parents or teachers. A lot of teachers follow my blog. You can use these questions. You can put them on the refrigerator. You can put them in the kid's bedroom. You can put them wherever you want, but you can use them as a guide to know you're asking the right questions. Okay. So basically, what we're trying to do, the one question I don't ask on here, meanwhile, that I think is important for you to know is I'm not asking for a temperature check or a high low or something where I'm checking just how the kid is doing emotionally. So oftentimes, as I'm doing this, I just want to say that we really need to be attuned. Listen carefully, parents. We need to be attuned to what's going on in the emotional life of the child. So there might be something else going on, or they might be really tired or exhausted, or their body feels tired, or they've been eating a lot of sugars or foods that are making them foggy, or they're not sleeping and their brain is foggy. So we need to be attuned to other things that are going on as well. So a lot of times I'll do a temperature check. Hey, how's it going on a scale of 1 to 10? And that might give me insight to get started on those conversations. Just want to say that disclaimer before I start getting into these questions, because these are very linear, concrete questions. That, in terms of their temperature, is more abstract and is more something you want to dive into in terms of attunement and connection and relationship. Now, in terms of these questions, I've broken this into a few different categories. So basically, you're going to say to your kiddo, "Hey, do you have any homework?" "No." "Are you sure?" "Yeah." "Are you positive?" "Yeah." "Leave me alone, get off my back," whatever. However your conversation goes. "Do you have any homework?" "Yeah, I have one thing." And you might know in your head, "I bet there's three things," or whatever. But what we want is we want meaningful answers. So this is how we get it. So here, The first question I always ask is, what is your number one priority? So I have a planning guide. I'm not going to show you tonight, but basically I said to my students, hey, what's up, man? How's it going? How you been? Yeah, what's going on? How's your day? How's your week? What's up with the teachers? Oh, really? Yeah. Okay, cool. What's your number one priority tonight? And I use a lot of wait time. And oftentimes when they answer me, I just stare at them blankly for a moment and give some more spaciousness for them to think about it. This is a very, 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 very powerful question. Do not underestimate the power of this one question. It is one of the most, on this paper, it's one of the two most important questions I ask. But the student will then say, yeah, well, I have to finish this math thing, or I have to write this paper, or I have to do an outline, or I have to update my planner, or I have to reorganize my backpack, or I just need to sit for a few minutes. Now, that we're not going to write on their daily plan, but what is the number one most important, and here's how I phrase it. What is the number one most important thing you need to do today that if you did at least that one thing, you'd feel good about it? So that's often a way that I go in more depth with that question. What is my number one priority? Next, I ask about classes. Okay, so I'll say, all right, do you have any homework for any of your classes? And let's say that the student says no. Even if, listen, parents, even if the student says no, I don't have homework for any other classes, I still follow up with this question. So I'll say, hey, do you have anything for any other classes? No. Cool. Do you have any math? No. Do you have any science? Yeah, I got blah blah blah. So they I'm not tricking them, but I'm asking the deeper level. Like I'll ask these questions about the different classes, and oftentimes it's giving the spaciousness for them to think and process. Now, are they going to have any homework for other classes? Are they just going to go from what's in their head? No, obviously, in an ideal world, they open their planner and they will see all of it, or they can look in the online portal. And in the most ideal world, they look in their planner and they can answer, yes, Seth, I have this, this, and this because it's reliable. But we're working with kids who struggle with executive function, so we're building that reliability in there. Okay. So do you have any math? Do you have any science? Do you have any social studies, history, geography? Depends on the kid. I'm not going to say all these things. Do you have any LA or English? Do you have any foreign language? Do you have any other classes? Like sometimes kids might have a tech class or this or that. And then I ask, do you have any makeup work? Another very important question. Do you have any makeup work? Because what's on their radar is often what's urgent from the day. But they might think, oh, yeah, I have this from the other day that I have to do. So, anyhow, first thing, what's my number one priority? Then, do I have any work for classes? Then, do I have any long term things I should be working on? Now, this is what I call pepper. Do I have any long term things I should be working on? Do I have any papers or essays to work on? So, pepper. Papers, exams, projects, or readings. Papers, exams, projects, or readings. These are long-term things that are not on their radar. Might be due on Friday, might be due the next week, might be due in a month. But these are long-term things they should be working for. And these kids who struggle with executive function are the kids who on the Sunday night before a giant project is due on a Monday, they come to you at 9 o'clock at night and say, Mom, Dad, I have this giant thing due tomorrow. And everybody's freaking out and stressed. So, do I have any papers or essays I should be working on? Exams, tests, or quizzes, those are just assessments they should be studying for. Projects I should be working for, or large reading assignments, books, novels, textbooks, dense material that they are supposed to be reading, and they really need time to focus and saturate themselves in. These things, so oftentimes, do I have any homework? They're just thinking this, and they're not thinking this. Then, so a lot of times kids who I work with will be like, hey, Mom, Dad, I don't need to go over to Seth's office tonight. I'm good. I don't have any work. I'm sure I don't. But they have other things to do, and that's where it comes here. Should I organize my backpack and my papers, update my planner, check my portal thoroughly, and deal with my inbox? The inbox thing is big because these kids are often they're subscribed to a million things. Their email addresses everywhere out there. I like for them to be digital minimalists as well. Okay, and then the final question of all: when I said this is one of the most important questions, what's my number one priority? The second most important question is, after I've gone through this with them, is what am I forgetting? What am I forgetting? Great question. And when you say, what are you forgetting? And they pause and they think about it, they, not always, but they often will be like, oh yeah, this one thing. It's something about asking that question is really powerful. Anyhow, parents, in this little masterclass of a video lesson for you, we've been going 10 minutes so far, but this is so important. I'm going to give you a PDF of this document, okay, that I've created over years of asking the same question, figuring out the pattern. These are the things you need to look at. Now, remember, parents, I do not ask every question to every child every night. That will push them away, and that is the opposite of what we want to do. We want to be connecting with them and attuning to them. Okay, we need to connect to them and attune with them and sense what's going on with them and help them. Not if we do all of this, it's going to feel micromanaging, it's going to feel suffocating to them, and it's going to push them away from us. And we are not going to be able to do what we are trying to do, which is be helpful to them. So I'm going to give you this again. I'm going to review just to pull it all together. Planning questions for each night as they're making their plan. What's your number one priority? Do you have any homework for your classes? Do you have any things you should be working on that are long term? Do you have any other things you should be doing that are more executive function, organizational type things that deal with your systems? And then what are you forgetting? So, again, I have been using these questions for a long time. I put it into a really easy to use format at the beginning of last school year, and I've been using it ever since. And it really is a very solid and reliable mechanism you can use where you know no stone is unturned. Do not use this every day and do not use the whole thing every day, but this might be a good thing to do once a week or once every 2 weeks, to tell your kid, hey, we're going to do this thing exhaustively once every week, or exhaustively once every 2 weeks, until me, the parent, until I know that you're really on top of stuff. And when you have that confidence that your kids got it, like they're asking themselves these questions, they really get the structure. You're in an amazing place. So anyhow, again, my name is Seth with SethPro.com. I've got a vlog. Sign up if you want. Subscribe on the YouTube channel. Thumbs up it. Leave a comment if you want. Tell us what you think about this stuff and what ideas you have or insights you have as a parent in terms of dealing with this. And if you're a teacher, what am I leaving out? What else should we consider here? Is there anything that I've forgotten? Anyhow, I hope you are having a great day, and I hope you're having a great school year, and I hope you're having a great connection with your child. All right, take care.